Howdy ho, everybody. How you doing? This is Sharon, and this is part of the reset. Yes, this is day 15. Know what I mean? For the spring reset 2021. It's been a really good day. It's Monday. A lot of people are like, oh God, Monday. But you guys know I'm not like, oh God, Monday. I'm like, it's Monday. It's another day that we get to do what we want to do. Wherever we are, it's the sum of our decisions. A lot of people don't like that. Sometimes it's easier for us to blame or look at external factors, and those things influence, but ultimately our decisions lie within ourselves. And that's one of the most empowering things that you can know. Ultimately, your decisions lie within yourself. It's also one of the most ultimately frightening things, because that means, you know what? You're responsible. You're responsible for you. You're responsible for different setups. Now, true, if you are a child and you're at home, so you're at the mercy and the direction and instruction of what the Bible would call governors and tutors, then I understand you don't have that full autonomy yet. But as we reach into our adult life, we have autonomy. And so the onus is on us. The responsibility is ours. The due diligence lies with us to do the research, to do the introspection, the reflection, to do the necessary things to find out why we do some of the things we do. One of the groups I'm part of called She Successful, we talked about triggers tonight, and also with the Hold Your Form book club. Hold Your Form, you guys know I love this book. We talked about actually about like SMART goals and having dead conversations. There are conversations that can propel you forward and help you navigate certain things, and then there are conversations that actually help you stew, actually help you sit right where you are, or help you to regress. And so here as it is, it's day 15 in this reset. The purpose of the reset: don't waste this time. The purpose of this reset, we're halfway through, is day 15. Is for us to look at what's working, what did not work, what's something that we can tweak and adjust, what's something that we want to reinvest our attention in and really give it 150 and make it work. Put the resources behind it, the energy behind it, the intellect behind it, the emotion behind it. Like, what are the areas we really want to invest in and give ourselves to? What are those endeavors? And what endeavors are stuff that we don't even really care about that? Like, why are we doing it? Is that ours? Do we need to take ownership of that? Am I even interested in that anymore? And so those are the things that we actually want to ask and have to ask on this reset. And I'm encouraging you to ask those questions. If you're in a group with some people, maybe you have a cohort or there's a consortium, like there's a group of y'all doing something, ask those questions and be a benefit to the people around you by asking the right questions, not to shame, not to blame, but to help them grow and help up level and help them maybe be not entangled in some of the things they're entangled in. And so with all that being said, day 15, the instructions for today: do not partner with, do not go into business with, and do not be a friend with an angry person. Don't fool with people who hot tempered all the time. Don't mess with people who are easily angered. Drake had a song a few years back, and it's called Zero to 100 Real Quick, Real Quick. And we kind of laugh because we know people who pop off like that and they go from 0 to 100 real quick. But I want to let you know 0 to 100 real quick is a recipe for disaster. It's similar to when an officer, and not all officers do this, but enough do that we can address it. It's similar to when an officer just shoots a gun because he went 0 to 100 real quick and he didn't ask the right questions, didn't try to de-escalate. And that's not the person you want to be in business with. That's not the person you want to marry. These are things you want to be aware of. I subscribe to biblical principles. Those are just principles I subscribe to, and so one of the things that they say is like, don't make friends with an angry man and don't associate with a hot-tempered man, or you may learn his ways and be entangled in it. Think about it. In high school, when there's peer pressure and you see people who want to fight or they're going to do something, and the next thing you know, now you having to do something you didn't even want to do because your friend is involved in some foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Are you at a club and your friend, and you know your friend started it, you know your friend tripping, you know your friend can't handle their alcohol, you know your friend is the culprit. Like, that. No joke, no shade, or as the young people say, no cap, probably when they're capping. But you know that your friend is the culprit. Your friend is the initiator, the instigator, your friend. is the X factor, creating chaos and confusion everywhere they go. You know it. But somewhere it's like, well, that's my friend, so I have to do it. If that's the case, then why even make the better decisions for you if you're going to allow this friend to to allow you to undermine all the things you work for? That's one of the things with Hold Your Form. So many times we forfeit what we've worked so hard to get, whether that's ground, position, whether it's wealth, stability, whatever it is you worked hard to get, and then in one instant, or because of an unthought out situation, be it by you or by this friend, this angry, hot tempered friend who always want to blame everybody and don't want to take responsibility for nothing. Oh my God, take responsibility. But because you're like, well, that's my friend, you find yourself fighting right alongside of them, or going along with something that you know is a bad idea. You know it shouldn't be happening like that. And in the end, that's going to cost you. It's going to cost you time, resources, energy, money, maybe maybe credibility, maybe some shame, you know. And I'm not talking about things that are life choices. Well, sometimes I'm not really talking about things that are life choices. Do you? And be happy with you. You have to be happy with yourself from the inside out. And if you are, I'm giving you a thumbs up. I applaud that. No hate, no shade here. But if you know that you went to an event and your friend is the messy one, your friend is creating chaos, your friend is being unethical in business, whether that's professionally unethical or personally unethical, like you know it's your friend. Your friend is Pigpen. For those of you who are not familiar with Charlie Brown, everywhere Pigpen went, it was a cloud of dust and dirt around him. But your friend is that. Then I just want to let you know in Proverbs 22, Proverbs 29, Proverbs 18, Proverbs 21, it repeatedly says, listen, don't be friends with an angry person. That's not who you want to go into business with. That's not who you want to get in bed with. That's not who you want to be in covenant with. So just be mindful of that. And so during this time with this reset, I want you to look, because your relationships have a direct effect on the influence you'll have, on the rooms you'll be able to go through, on the doors that'll be open for you and remain open. Your relationships have a direct effect on the opportunities people may or may not share with you, the opportunities that people may or may not engage in that you are sharing based off of those relationships. There have been many times I was like, man, I kind of want to fool with that one right there. That's a go getter. I think I really want to work with them. But because of certain relationships, and how those relationships were intertwined and interconnected, I knew if I messed with person A, I would have to fool with person B, and person B was just an X factor. You never knew what was going to come with it. It just required too much. It changed the profit loss margin. It changed the risk factor. And so I want to encourage you, as you're going through this reset, look at the relationships and realize certain responsibilities are on you. Now, if you're already married, you married. You find a way to make it work, something like that. If you're already at a job, then that's that. But look at some of these relationships and look at whether they're reciprocal or not. Are you in a relationship where you are always the giver and other components are always the taker? And that's whether it's in business or interpersonal relationships, whatever that is. But look at it during this reset, because you want to be able to free up your time and your resources so you can focus in the areas you want to focus in. And saying no to some things allows you to say yes to other things. So, yeah, that's all I have today. Again, don't be friends with an angry person. And what does an angry person look like? Okay, I talked about your friend being messy, but an angry person also, if you listen to conversation, if the conversation is always negative, if the conversation always has blame, if the conversation is always like a yeah, but, if the cynicalness of that person overrides everything else, like pessimism is just like, ugh, it's so heavy, it's so deep. Like, no, whatever, no matter what you say, it's gonna be like, yeah, but rah, 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 like just a heavy pessimistic thing, like your shoulders droop when you think about it. Those are angry people. And I'm sorry that they're angry, and I hope that maybe over life, then maybe they can do some reflection and do more reflection, and we just figure out some things. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Just because I'm pointing this out, it doesn't mean that I never feel frustration or even anger. But an angry person always is there. They are always there. If they're not angry, that's an exception to the rule. As a rule, they're always there. And that's just draining. That's draining. That's an energy suck. You don't want that to be the person that you're in partnership with. So during this reset, we're halfway through now. We've looked probably at finances. I've looked at finances. I've looked at areas that my time goes to. And this week, I'm actually looking at relationships and just saying, like, what are some relationships that I've cut out that maybe I should open back up? What are some relationships that I have that I need to cut out? And that's not always easy. That's scary. You get comfortable, you get familiar in certain places. You know how certain people going to do, and they know how you're going to do. It's just a comfortable place. But growth sometimes means you have to readjust that. Biblically, sometimes somebody who's in your 3, maybe you got to put them back in the 12. Maybe somebody in the 12 got to go past the 70 to the 500. If you don't know what that means, that's okay. But if you study biblical stuff, you probably do know what it means. So that's all I have today. I hope everyone has a great week. Listen, it's Monday. Spring is here. Things are coming up. Flowers are blooming. I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but here it's beautiful. And that means people want to do stuff. It's tapping into the possibilities that are present within you. And so I want to encourage those possibilities, but in those possibilities, I also want to encourage you to count the cost, look at things, play the tape through, and vet what it is you're about to give your time to. That's all I have, guys. This is Sharon with Knowledge. Well, this is Sharon with UCDI Leadership. I also host Knowledge and Nonsense. But yeah, be kind to someone, be nice to someone, not for wealth or fame, but because it's a good thing to do. And if there's anything I can do to help you, or if there are any tools that you may need, like little sheets or forms, you guys know I'm certified through John Maxwell, also a certified human behavior consultant. If there's anything I have that can help you as we're in this reset, let me know. Don't wait till April 2nd, because when you ask on April 2nd, there's going to be a price attached to it. But because I already do this in March and in August, let me know and I'll be glad to share with you the things I am doing. Yeah, that part. Don't miss that window. Y'all be safe. God bless. Talk to you later.